Hi friends, this is Cynthia Vaughn, co-author of The Singing Book by Meribeth Dayme and Cynthia Vaughn, a leading group class voice textbook and song anthology. Today I wanted to share with you a fun icebreaker that you can do for the very first class. Doesn't matter if not everyone has the syllabus or if they haven't read the syllabus. Doesn't even matter if not everyone has the textbook yet. This is a way that you can dive right in, making sound and, in a sense, making music without just diving right into singing. We'll get to that soon enough. So I call this the rhythm of your name. Every name has a rhythm. And with a little bit of practice, a person can find the rhythm of their name. For example, my name, Cynthia Vaughn, Cynthia Vaughn, Cynthia Vaughn. And so I just picked some names of random names from some of my friends. So I'm going to use your names as example. And so Cynthia Vaughn, Emily Brown has the same pattern that mine does. Some other friends that have the same rhythm of their name are Karen Brunson, Douglas Webster, Tammy Petty. Now some names get a little bit more complicated. Oh, this is a fun one. Kimberly Gratlin James, Mary McMurtry, Molly Holleran, Karen Merstick Michaels. Okay, you get the idea. And you can go around the class and just have everybody find the rhythm of their names. If someone doesn't have a particularly strong sense of rhythm, you can help them with that. But it is a good way to get everybody engaged and listening and figuring out if they can figure out the rhythm of someone else's name. It's also very good from the teacher's perspective because you are learning a few things about the students in your class. Maybe most importantly for that first class, you are learning how to pronounce their names. And particularly if you have a student who doesn't have a name that is familiar and easily recognizable, that student has a chance to speak their name in rhythm, and it's a good way for them to, names have power. And so it's a way for them to, right at the beginning, be able to say their name the way they want it to be pronounced, no matter how it's spelled. So I think that's a good way for you to learn their names. It's also, as the teacher, it helps you understand which students have a good sense of rhythm. You might have a lot of music education majors, instrumental majors in there who have a really good sense of rhythm. You might have some general education students who are not quite as tuned into that sense of rhythm. That's fine. You'll help them find it. You'll be able to tell a little bit about the personalities of your different students. And there's also a way that you can get a sense of whether your students connect to pitch. So I'm going to do that in just a second. But if this speaking your name in rhythm, if that's going great, then you could actually try a variation of that, which is, what's your major? Chemistry. What's your major? Biology. What's your major? Music therapy. What's your major? Theater. What's your major? Instrumental music education. So yeah, that's a fun way to not only, now you know their names, but you also know what they're studying. Oh, and don't forget that most common major for college freshman students, undecided. So let's go back to their names for a minute. So if it's working really well with everyone speaking their name in rhythm, the next thing that we can do is add some pitch. Again, keeping this really, really basic. So I might start out by saying, Cynthia Vaughn, Cynthia Vaughn. and the next person might speak speak and sing over the top of that, because we want to see if we can sort of keep things in the same key. And if we can't, no problem. Not a problem at all. We'll get that figured out later. So I'm going to give you a few examples with your name and rhythm, and now we're adding pitch. And all I did is just play randomly. I played a B flat chord. Okay. Cynthia Vaughn, Emily Brown, Kimberly Gratlin James, Mary McMurtry, Molly Holleran, Alan Henderson, Karen Brunson, Douglas Webster, Tammy Petty, Karen Merstick Michaels. And if you can get the whole class going around and keeping the rhythm steady and staying relatively in the same key, there will probably be a fair bit of laughter. And they have just become composers. So it's a lot of fun, and it's a good way to get to know your students. And it also follows what one of my guidelines is, what my guidelines are for group class voice. Sing about it first, talk about it later, and everyone sings every class. See you next time.